Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
So
Ooh, this is loud. Sorry,
Oh,
guys.
Liz looks so happy, and he looks so miserable. Like it's a beautiful picture of Liz.
Oh,
And the
hold
poor
on.
kid looks like he's dying.
It's only because a little boy he must have been like an autistic little
He had
boy
Down
or something
syndrome.
like that.
He had Down
something,
syndrome.
Yes,
Yeah.
he had something. He like came over and he like just like
Hugged
gently
him.
booped him on the nose. Like,
Oh yeah.
and he just like
Oh my god.
All right. So hi. I think we lost somebody, but it happens a lot less rarely. I mean, a lot more rarely, a lot less frequently now that we are on Skype. So how is everybody? Last HP Hero. We've got. I don't recognize that name, so I think you might be new to our stream, which is very nice. Thank you for coming. And Initiative League. Hey. Nice to see you. Sorry, my mic is like sounding really loud. Hold on. Am I too loud? We always have audio issues here, but that's a live stream, I think.
You sound really beautiful to me.
Oh, Micaiah.
She's trying to get inspiration points.
Yeah, she is.
I should like turn into a mouse and you crush by some giant lizard. You know, so like I might deserve it. Plus, you're great. Wink,
So
wink.
great.
Wank wank.
Rachel is putting on a blanket. It is making me sweat.
Our AC is blasting right now. I'm freezing.
Oh, poor you. Okay, so.
That sounds like a
First
first world problem. Yeah.
All right, so I'm just gonna do our announcements real quick, and then I would say debut it, but I've been like playing the shit out of it for the past 3 days. We're going to debut our new intro. Micaiah, your mic is breaking up a little bit. It does sound a little choppy on my end, so just FYI. Kind of sounds like you're an airplane pilot sometimes, and it's like, yeah, I can hear that.
Does it sound okay now?
Sounds better now. Yeah.
Alright.
All right. I'm turning my mic down because it's going into the yellow.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, sorry.
No problem.
Stupid stuff happened with my phone.
Oh, no problem. All right, so we'll just do our announcements real quick. Just some shout outs. Thank you for our subscribers and followers. We hit our 100 follower mark halfway through the month of July, so we're going to try to go for 150 just because why not? And at that point, we'll do another giveaway. You can check out some of the other streams that are in our little small stream community that we have kind of going here. We've got Nat Awesome, who's got a great D&D homebrew world every other Sunday. Actually, this coming Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Pacific. And Ash is the DM there. We've got Raging Rolls out of Australia. They just hit 50 followers, I believe, and so they've hit affiliate status, so congratulations to them. I was a guest on their channel on this past Thursday. We've got DM the Mark Knight, who is, I won't say that we expect a raid, but they are very consistent with their raids, so we hope to see them tonight. That would be very nice, as always. They're trying to get to 200 subs so that they can make their DM dab on screen for 10 seconds. The Loophole King, which is a sister stream to DM the Mark Knight on Wednesdays. We do DM after hours on his channel. Lord Nikto, who has a great community, super fun viewer engagement. I just hang out on his stream whenever it's on. And then Dreaded GM, out of Australia, just a wonderful community. Their Discord is fabulous. They're just very supportive of each other. It's like super wholesome, and they do a wonderful, wonderful stream, and I definitely recommend them. And thank you to all of them for we're just building this small channel kind of community and sharing viewers and sharing our stories and stuff.
The dude who just who does video of farm equipment.
I can't hear you. You're too low.
He's way too low.
I don't know why that is. Which one's the dude that does farming equipment and
yes,
the thunderstorm?
Yeah, so that's William. Where is he? I wonder if my shoutouts will work. Hold on. W. Coinert Farms. It probably isn't working because none of my stuff works when I go live. But if you go to watch his stream, he's part of Lord Nikto's Cincinnati city, so he is the farmer, and he does some really great farming streams. Just getting started with it, so please follow him. He's got very calming streams. You can watch people bale hay and watch corn blow in the wind during a storm. It's everything you need it to be. All right, so we are also we have new stream interactions, and if I set it up correctly, bits will fill the party inspiration. Everything goes back into our stream here, and getting new technologies and everything to make it better. You can also interact with the stream using sound alerts. I don't think the players can hear it, but I can hear it, so that's okay. Let's see, the winner of our 100 follower giveaway, which was a $30 gift card to cozygamer.com. That was Angel Roses 21, again another Lord Nikto regular, and I can't wait to see which dice she chose, because I think she's gonna post a picture over on his Discord. We're working with I'm working on reaching out to a bunch of different dice makers because I want to give away real items as much as possible. So I'm gonna try to get people dice, handmade, beautiful dice. So there'll be more to come on that. Huh?
Not the
You're still really low.
Oh yeah.
Not the what?
Turn up or not?
Turn up for what? Oh, he disappeared.
He left.
He's coming back.
How's that? Is that any better?
Yes, much better.
Yep.
I just had to back out and back in. I was gonna say, giving out something real as opposed to, we talked about this Saturday. D&D Beyond's buy yourself a real set of digital metal dice.
Yeah, right.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get you some real dice, real metal dice. Which I do wonder if that's what Angel Roses chose, because Cozy Gamer has very nice metal dice. Our merch giveaway for July is a Bums of Greenest t-shirt, which you can see in our merch store. And we're also going to plan to do a giveaway for every 10 subs that we get. I'm just subscribers, not subs. Don't send us subs. For every 10 that we get.
Send us subs. I enjoyed it.
You're low again. You disappeared. You're disappearing.
What's up tonight?
All right. So what we're gonna do now is, now that those are all done, I'm going to play our intro for the first time during a Bums of Greenest stream, because I said,
oh my gosh!
I've been playing.
Yay!
You guys will have to mute your. You won't be able to hear it unless you're watching the stream. So yeah, so we're gonna switch over to that and get hyped up, I guess.
like they do on Dragon Ball. Last week on The Bums of Greenest, Goku ate a Zenzu bean and became a Super Saiyan.
That
I
bumbo.
think you should read it in the Sean Connery voice for everyone.
Thank
Watch
you for
the
the
bums
cheer.
as they make their way across the land.
Yes, you should really do that next time.
It's your
It would make it
duty.
even better.
We're talking about narrating the video when we play it every week. So we'll see. Maybe that's a thing that'll happen.
I nominate Erdnot.
Mhm.
I feel like
we
we
all
have
need to pick.
seconds on
We
that.
all need to pick a celebrity. You know what I mean? Somebody needs to be Steve Buscemi. Somebody needs to do Christopher Walken. You know?
Not
Oh
me.
shit.
I can't even get my voice mod to work.
Watch the bums of Greenest
You know,
as they try to stop the cult of the dragon. That was a terrible Christopher Walken. This is
That's close.
more me having a stroke.
Actually, I didn't think it was that bad.
All right, so I guess let's jump into the session because it's a short one today because we're all very tired, and I have to wake up early to do a board meeting.
Yay.
Understood. Yeah, I gotta wake up early too.
Yeah. All right, let me get to my intro. Oh, I'm on the wrong chapter. That would be helpful.
See, this is why I didn't want to play any other side games because I've been so preoccupied with last Saturday, I forgot what the fuck is going on until Micaiah was mentioned mice and lizards, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
Don't
right.
worry, I've got the recap.
Of mice and Micaiah.
all I have is Christopher Walken's voice when he did King Louie in the new Jungle Book in my head for some friggin' reason now. All I hear is, man cub. I want to know the secret of men's red fire. It's just repeating in my head. Quick, let's kill something.
Oh my god, you're killing me.
I wanna be like you.
I lost you again. All right, so recap. All right, our story continues on the morning after the arrival of the Bums of Greenest at the Carnath Roadhouse. After following the cultists north from Waterdeep, you arrived at your destination and settled in a much-needed break from the harsh winter weather and chill winds. Dinner time revealed some clues as you engaged with Gristle Pete, the Roadhouse chef, who complained about being kept up at night by strange noises under the floor, though mysteriously only around the time of a new load drop-off. A quick glance at the posterior of the half-orc in charge, Bog Luck, made it clear that grabbing keys to the locked doors in the complex was going to be tricky. So a new plan was hatched. In the wee hours, Micaiah wild-shaped into a mouse and squeezed your way into the warehouse. Following your nose led you to another locked door full of crates, barrels, boxes, and sacks with special markings. On the way out of the room, a trap door, at first too heavy for the little mouse body to explore further, opened to reveal the scaly humanoid figure of a lizard folk who quickly reached out to grab you, but luck was on your side. Very much so, and you escaped out of the warehouse and into the arms of Avedon in the stables. We rejoin you a few hours later in the early morning as the stable hands are starting to tend to the horses, and the rest of the roadhouse is prepping for breakfast before it's time for Ardrid to head back to Waterdeep with the laborers who are being the laborers and the guards who are being relieved of their multi-week shift. So you wake up Avedon and Micaiah in the stables and kind of just like huddled together as one of the stable hands, a little boy comes over and he just kind of shakes you, Micaiah, and is like,
Oh,
It's
is she a
time.
human again?
yes, she's a human again. Yeah. It only lasts 2 hours. So.
She's like, oh shit, did I put her in my pocket?
Nah, I think she was like worried, like, you know, when you have a newborn baby and they're in bed with you and you're worried you're gonna roll over on them.
Mhm.
I think she was worried she was gonna crush me or like stab me with a horn or something. Nah, I'm human.
Of mice
But
and
we
men.
cuddling. But we cuddling. Yeah.
George,
I'm Lanny.
I pet the mouse too strong. Just broke it.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
classical reference.
Yeah.
So, Micaiah, you awake to a little boy, human, probably about like maybe 10, 11 years old. I mean, he's probably actually pretty big at that age, but he comes over and is shaking you and is like, "Miss, it's time to wake up." The rest of you who are not down in the stables, you awake about the same time because the whole roadhouse is getting ready to come to life, essentially. Like, some of the laborers are starting to pack up. People are starting to walk over to the up the stairs to that kitchen that you guys were just at the night before. You can see guards, and you can hear some of the guards. Oh, gotta turn my phone down. Are packing up their items because after breakfast, from the chatter that you can hear in the hallway out there, the Ardrid is going to be taking that next group, or the prior group that you relieved, back to Waterdeep on that 10-day journey. And so you all will be part of the guard group that is left here for the 2 or 3 weeks that your shift is.
Does Issa do Erdnot's makeup every day? Is this how this is going?
Yeah, so actually, I think it was Erdnot and Arik. You're sharing a room. Are the three, actually probably Zan too, the three of you sharing a room?
Yeah.
When you guys wake up, Issa is actually just kind of sitting in your room on a chest, and she's smiling, just like waiting for somebody to wake up.
She's so
She's such a creep. Watching us sleep. I can see Zan waking up and being like, don't look at me.
So whoever wakes up first, she's like, "Good morning."
Or not, just kind of, nah.
Good morning. How long have you been there?
I don't know. Does it really matter?
I guess not now that everyone's awake.
She's laughing a little bit too.
I'm still sleeping. I'm heavy
Or not mutters, just check your belongings.
She's like, Erdnot, I already looked through everything you guys have, and I don't want any of it, so don't worry. It's all there.
He grimaces at that.
So I checked in, and I only saw Vidania in the other room. You guys know where your other two are at?
They were investigating further into places that we couldn't see.
Well, that's
under
perfect.
the stairs where the dining area is.
Oh, good call. How'd they get under there? If you don't mind me asking.
Micaiah is quite stealthy when she needs to be.
But more pressing is the Catha Chateau. Oh, lost my accent today. I can't fucking talk. The Kafka Chateau. Ah, shit. They're on to you. And your little stunt with the guard boy.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm sure you don't, but you should watch your back.
I'm not worried about it.
Erdnot got super Scottish.
Oh, aye. Today, this is the way Erdnot's gonna talk.
Oh, you're super
He's gonna
Scottish.
say fuck a lot.
All right, well, I mean, I hope you guys can fill me in. I'll meet you over in the kitchen. Good morning. And then she walks out of the...
Get out.
she walks out of the...
Wait, what about my makeup?
Well, she doesn't...
She did it while you were asleep.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
She's mascara and
So she's
everything.
like, already done, baby, and she leaves.
Big dick on my forehead.
It's actually like Sharpie. You're never gonna get that shit off.
All right. So Micaiah, Abaddon, you're down in the stables. The rest of you, Vidania, you wake up and you had the room all to yourself.
Ah.
A lovely cot underneath another cot with 2 other cots in the room.
Couldn't ask for more.
So what's everybody doing?
Micaiah definitely would have woken Abaddon up as soon as the little boy kind of startled her. She would have woke up and turned to Abaddon and kind of shook her and been like, wake up, Abby. Wake up, Abby.
Shake her heart.
Abby.
I'm awake.
Wake the fuck up, Abby. Is there water nearby? Do I need to splash her?
Someone throw an
I don't know
internet
what
ping
you-
at her.
I don't know what you were
turn
doing while you
over.
were waiting for me, but like, we're done spooning now. Wake up.
I'm gonna
We gotta
turn
talk
over
about what
and
happened.
cuddle the horse.
Dude, I almost got like eaten. I don't even know what happened. We gotta talk to the others right away. Where are they? We gotta find them.
Well, hey, cool your jets. We can't look
I'm
suspicious
stressed,
running
no.
out here like this.
All right. Do you have like a common spell or something? Cause like that was a close one.
Is there weed
Or a
in this
shot?
world?
Do you got some? Yeah, you got something? You gotta have some like medicinal herbal treatments, don't you?
There's weed in
I don't
every
have
world.
anything with.
Abby, girl, you gotta help me out. You got a
Thank
horse
you.
tranquilizer or something?
Oh God.
You got a shot? Get me a beer. I don't know.
Mist of
Those are
coming.
Maybe there's something. Maybe we can get you some ale at breakfast.
Oh,
Just
let's go.
relax.
All right, fine.
And don't
If you promise me
go,
ale, I'll be good.
And you can
don't
see
go crazy right now.
as you
All
guys
right,
are talking,
right.
when and leaving the stables, you can see the 4 stable hands, like the 2. They're all human kids, and they're all just kind of staring at you as you leave. Like one of them is kind of turned and is brushing one of the horses, but keeps looking over, and they're looking at each other, and definitely.
I just wink at all of them, like
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you wonder.
At each.
I'm at each one.
Do they all look like the wild boy
Micaiah just had a
from
stroke.
Beyond Thunderdome? That's what I'm picturing every time. I'm just picturing like 4 of that kid.
Yeah, basically.
All right.
That would make sense.
So when you head out into that main square, you see hustle and bustle. It's already busy. Like I said, there are people who are starting to work. There are people heading up into the kitchen. There are guards. Like you can see, some of the carts are getting prepped for the travel home. It is an open courtyard out there, so looking up, you can see it is not a super windy day. It's actually kind of clear and calm. It is chilly, but still fairly warm compared to the first leg of your journey up there, because again, the air coming off of the swamp and all the like warmth and rotting things, it keeps it slightly warmer on this side of the bog. So you can see Ardred has already begun gathering the people who are going to be heading back, and that includes laborers and guards. Bog Luck is over at the door to that warehouse that you had snuck into, and he is kind of directing a couple of people in before heading in himself and disappearing into the room. But the rest of people that you see are heading into the kitchen, and you catch just the last glimpse of Issa going into the kitchen mess hall.
Do people walk around this place armed? Like, if you're not on active guard duty, or do people walk around like with like their swords on
Yes.
hand, or is it like a no weapons while you're not working policy type deal?
So the laborers don't really have anything, but the guards who are on duty or off duty, they all have their weapons on them.
Okay. So we wouldn't look suspicious if we go to breakfast armed.
No.
Okay.
Because you have to be ready for anything. Like you're right on the edge of the mirror, and so at any point stuff could come through or attack or whatever.
Okay.
DM, not that I particularly want to ask, but in being faithful with the game, do I have to roll for anything since I slept?
Yeah.
What was it again? A D10. It's like I said, I was like, oh god. That's a 3.
Okay. You have your typical fitful sleep. You didn't wake anybody up on this particular night, but you slept. It just wasn't a pleasant, experience. You haven't had a pleasant night of sleep in a very long time.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
slept.
I need ale. That's what I
Is everybody gathering in the kitchen?
Yes.
/ mess hall, whatever. Okay, so you head up into
Yes.
in there, and it's pretty lively. Even more lively than like dinner time last night. It was a little bit. People were tired. You guys were tired from the journey. People were unloading carts and everything. You see your buddy Gristle Pete standing there. He doesn't look as like angry actually. So maybe like. The fact that it's morning, he still looks grumpy, but not quite as grumpy as nighttime. And he's sitting there like muttering to himself, and every once in a while, if he sees again somebody trying to get too much or a second helping before somebody else got there first, he shoos them off. There is ale available. Issa is sitting with a different group of people today, not Hasid or anybody that you actually know. She's sitting with a totally new group of people who she hasn't spoken with before, as far as you know, and is getting to know them. You do see Wexler is not there, but Philok and Yasha from Kathja's Shadow are sitting at their own table. And it's very clear for anybody who's paying attention that Philok is watching Issa. Hasid is not actually there right now. And neither is Minxie or actually any of the cultists that you know by name.
Oh, I'd walk over where we just walked in.
Yeah.
As a group.
Mhm.
All right, I'm gonna
Trickled in.
walk up. I'm gonna walk up and grab an ale and say to Gristle Pete, "Morning, Pete. Morning, Gristle. What do we call him? Gristly? Pete? Gristle Pete?
And he's like,
Hell, I'll ask him. What do we call you?
you can call me
Chef?
Chef.
Chef Pete. I like it.
Just Chef.
Yes, Chef.
Just
Like-
chef.
Gordon Ramsay. Sleep well last night?
No, not at all. I swear those rats. And this one
Or
won't
not
do
just
anything about it. He kind of like
Grabs
nods.
an ale while this is happening.
He
Not
nods
like.
He nods towards the door, like, so not at anyone in particular, but given the context, you kind of get the impression he's talking about Bog Luck, the leader guy, just saying, this one won't do anything about it. I don't know how they expect me to create all of this culinary treasure when I can't sleep. You gonna eat or
Well,
what?
seems like you're doing pretty good even on low sleep there. Yeah, I'll grab a bowl of whatever's there.
He
Whatever
kinda
sludge.
slaps you on the shoulder, like not like mean, but like kind of like a positive, very rough slap on the shoulder, but with no like words. He's just like,
Whap!
yeah.
It's alright, I get enough of that from Erg. We get enough of that from Ergnot. We know what it means. So yeah, I'll just take a bowl of whatever it is, whatever slop that he's made, or eggs, or whatever the hell it is, and I'll screw off.
You get the impression that that's like the most approval that anybody would get from him. So.
Nice. Yeah, so I'll take my little bowl and, go over to a table. It's probably an empty one or whatever ones that everybody else is sitting at.
Is breakfast slop?
Breakfast slop.
No,
I like it.
You still have. It's been because you guys brought fresh stuff with you. Like for a little while at least, there'll be like fresh food and meats and stuff that he can really work with until the weeks go by and it starts to run low, and then you're left with just the scraps. But for now, you guys are eating pretty well.
Okay, or now we'll get food then. I was just gonna forego the slop and just drink ale because dwarves don't actually need to eat that much, or not just does. but if it's good food, then he's gonna eat some.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
How's Mickey doing? Is she spazzing out, or is she?
I'm calmer now that I know that you're gonna go get me an ale. Wink, wink. Hint, hint.
All right, I'm gonna tell her. We all arrive at about the same time.
Yeah, you kind of trickle in. You can see your group is starting to gather over at a different table.
Okay. I'm gonna tell her, go over and meet the group, you lunatic. I'm gonna grab you a beer, some food. We'll sit, we'll talk, okay?
All right. Only, I love you too, but can you get me on a stick? That would make me feel a lot better.
I am not even asking Gristle Pete for meat on a stick.
There's no
meat
right now.
God damn it. Fine. Just get me whatever he's got. Just make sure you have
sit.
ale. At least 2 ales.
Go
All right,
sit.
fine.
Be quiet. I'll be right there.
All right. So Makai goes. She goes and sits with the others.
Right. So when you guys sit down, suddenly you do see that Issa has joined you. She just kind of pulls up a chair. She left the group she was with, and she's just sitting at the table next to you, or not. Like, next thing you know, you look, and she's, like, right there. She's like, hey.
Or not forces a smile because he's undercover, and he goes, hey.
Hey.
Hi.
So excited to see you.
Where would Philok be since you said whoever would pay attention? Eric I'm assuming would have noticed that Philok was kind of watching Issa. Where position wise is she now on a table behind Issa? Is she to the side of us?
So she is now. She is kind of a couple of tables over. Issa can see her. Like they're facing one another at the moment.
Alright, I was gonna say, so Philip can't. She's not close enough to hear anything that we say.
It's a pretty loud room. It's not a huge room, but it's pretty loud. So if you guys are careful about like how you talk and what you talk about, you can probably get away with talking and not having anybody hear you in particular.
I'm gonna call to Micaiah before she sits and opens her mouth, and I'm just gonna say, I can't carry all this. Come on back.
All right, I'm coming.
So,
right.
And then I want to talk to Micaiah, like kind of quietly, under my breath a little bit. And I will say, you see who sat down over there?
Yeah, I saw who sat down over there. Did you see who sat down over there? They look like a knock. I mean, I've never seen a knock in real life, but if that's a knock, yes, that's a knock.
Why are we all talking with sort of accents over here suddenly, huh? I can't tell if you're from Boston, if you're from New York, if you're from New Jersey. Where the hell is everybody from suddenly?
I don't know, but you better make some pasta prosciutto.
I'm walking here.
Get your goddamn shoe shine box.
So I'm gonna say to...
No, I did see who sat over there. I was actually wondering, like, I don't know if I should if I should be talking to everybody. I don't know. Not around stranger. I don't feel comfortable.
That's what I'm thinking. But
Yeah. I can. That's okay. I can act business as usual. It's all right. We can wait till we can talk privately.
Okay. So, I will hand her a plate because literally I can't carry all of this, and then I'd like to cast a spell on Issa, Detect Thoughts,
Oh shit!
which is a
Oh shit!
concentration spell, 1 copper. I haven't done it yet, so. Do you want me to do it in what's it called? In Roll20s? Would that be easier?
It doesn't matter. I'm gonna look it up on D&D Beyond just so that I know all the
Okay.
details. So, and then I can
Okay.
make sure that I tell you what you need. You can spell up to mind, and okay, you initially learn the surface thoughts as an action. You can try to probe deeper. Wisdom saving throw. So it doesn't say that either way, the target knows that you're probing into its mind, and unless you shift your attention, the creature can use its action to make an intelligence check. So she will know that you're doing this.
That's okay.
Hold on, as an action, if you probe deeper, if you fail, actually, it kind of sounds like if you're just looking for the surface thoughts, then it won't know, but if you try to probe deeper, then it will.
So if I'm asking Issa a question, because that's what I was going to do, I was going to kind of ask her something. Would that distract her enough to not realize that Abaddon is doing that?
I would say it looks like you can initially learn surface thoughts, and maybe somebody in chat will correct me if I'm wrong on that, but it kind of sounds like you can learn surface thoughts, and then if you try to go deeper, then it's a wisdom throw, but either way, Issa, it's either pass-fail, and if she passes or if she succeeds, she'll know that someone is doing that to her. So,
She'll know someone is doing it, or she'll know the person that is doing it.
Yeah.
It's very likely that she knows the person who is going to do it, who is doing it. We'll see. Are you gonna do it?
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna do it.
Okay. So for surface thoughts, let me just I had read about this before, but I want to make sure I describe detect thoughts. Surface.
Just picture Abaddon right now.
Send the beams.
The beam.
Okay. So, as just a general, okay.
Well,
Okay, so
again,
go ahead.
see, before Abaddon said that, I was gonna engage her in some kind of I was gonna ask her something. So I don't know if this is all happening concurrently, or if you want to do Abaddon's thing first, or if you want me to have me ask the question
It could be
and
happening.
then have Abaddon do her thing, so maybe we can get a better read on what her thought would immediately go to as soon as I ask my question.
Yeah, so
I would have no idea that Abaddon would be doing this.
Yeah, so we'll go with Abaddon is casting it. Abaddon, what is that, by the way? Is that a verbal, somatic, and material cast?
Let me
So
double
you-
check. Yeah. Yeah, it's a concentration. And yeah.
Oh, just need a copper
VSM.
piece. So you'd have to be
Yep.
over there kind of like whispering to yourself and have a piece of copper in your hand, which is easy enough to do.
It probably look like she's talking to Micaiah anyways, I'm guessing. She's
Why?
well, she's over there in the corner like, this piece of copper, oh my god, this piece of copper.
Abaddon tends to talk to herself a lot anyway, so.
So yeah,
There
Just
you
be
go.
careful, because Micaiah might be like, "What? Are you talking to me?
What are you talking to that penny for?
Ankfadon, speak up! I can't hear you."
So Arik, what were you gonna ask Issa?
If I'm sitting looking across at Issa and Philok is behind me, I would kind of I'd look at Issa and say, hey, so she doesn't seem to like you very much, and I would just kind of like flick my eyes like to the side, like as if I was motioning behind me, not so much as to do this with my head, like, hey, she doesn't like you, but just like a quick, like a, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trying.
So Issa looks at Arik and is like, "There's a lot of people in this world that don't like me. I'm sure you know what that feels like."
Yeah, but she really, really doesn't like you. Any reason why?
Can't think of a thing. And Avedon, the like thoughts that you're getting from her in this moment as she's looking at Arik, or maybe even like kind of looking past him at Philok over his shoulder, is this is going to be a problem. I'm going to have to deal with this.
That's what she's thinking.
Yeah, it's kind of like a surface, like, this isn't, I was sloppy, this is gonna be an issue I'm gonna have to deal with.
As she was looking at Philok, she's
Yeah.
thinking this?
She's looking,
Okay.
it looks like she's
Sorry,
looking
Avedon.
at you, actually. So Avedon, from your perspective, looking over, if you're doing that and kind of looking at her, she is looking at Arik. As far as you can tell.
Okay. So, can I, as an action, probe deeper? Can I probe deeper?
That's what she said. Sorry. I had to say it because you couldn't.
So it's a wisdom saving throw. What's your what's the DC I gotta beat? Under spells, it should be at the top, like yeah, spell DC.
Let me see. That's a 14.
All right, let's see what I roll. That's an 11. Okay, so let me just take another quick look at this. So if it fails, you gain insight into its reasoning, its emotional state, and something that looms large in its mind. Either way, it knows that you're probing into its mind, and unless you shift your attention, the creature can use its action on its turn to make an intelligence check, and if to contest it. Okay, so gain insight into its reasoning. So the reasoning that you're feeling from her is that if Philok is particularly upset about James's death, and if she does in fact suspect Issa, then Issa's not infiltration, but her task that has been given to her by her leadership could be compromised, because then she has to deal with this. But also, if Philok is like really mad, then that could be a problem where she might want to seek revenge. It's kind of clear that she does want to seek revenge. Her emotional state, she's kind of like mostly calm and cool about it, and just kind of like rationally thinking about how she's going to fix this problem. And something that looms large in her mind, worries over, loves, or hates. You get this just she has an item that she is personally searching for that she really, really wants to find. And she's convinced that it is here. But you get the clear impression that this is a separate thing from the task that she has been given by her leadership. So she's got a very personal stake in something that's happening. She's looking for an item, and it is not part of her. It's not part of her assigned task, but it's almost more important than that to her.
Okay.
And as that's happening, as you're kind of doing your thing, she kind of like looks. You see her eyes kind of like start looking around the room, and make a stealth check.
Oh no! I'm not too stealthy. 19. Oh, that's a nat 20.
Oh, holy
Let me
Jesus.
see what she rolls.
Oh shit!
What'd you say? Oh.
Oh, I rolled it like a million times. Yeah, so she is like looking around, and like you can see that she's looking, but she hasn't. Her eyes don't settle on you. She is gonna make an intelligence.
Would I have noticed anything going on with her in her face or her eyes at this point? Since this is literally happening as me and her are talking.
Make a perception check.
Oh boy. Dude. That's a plus nothing. That's a 14.
Yeah, you would have noticed. You see her eyes, like she's not darting around actually. She's just kind of like, looking around at the environment, all the people walking around and talking and eating. And she rolled a 15, so your spell does end in that moment.
Okay. That was a fun one.
When you said to roll a stealth, when she said to roll a stealth check, we all heard you literally shit a brick. Like, oh no!
That was pure luck.
So in that moment too, like she's like, you know what? I'll catch up with you guys later. And she gets up and she actually leaves the mess hall. Once she breaks your spell, she visibly looks uncomfortable and she's kind of still looking around. She's like, I'll catch up with you. Walks out and
Did she
not
leave
turns
any
to
food?
Ecker.
Did she leave any food on her plate?
Yeah, she left all of her food.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm just gonna dump that onto mine while looking over at Chef, and just waving, just as dumping her food onto mine and just eating it.
I grab a forkful from his plate that was just jumped on there too, and just.
He's
And
not-
then I
Come on,
go.
we only need one
I
spoon.
just go. That was out of character.
Yeah, she's some kind of
I'm gonna
shaking up.
kind of scoot over to the table now that she's gone.
And I'm just gonna walk over like I have no idea what just happened, but I'm glad she's gone. So
What a weird turn of
Exactly.
events. I was asking her questions, she was probing her mind while staring at a penny, yelling at it. When Micaiah's like, "What the fuck is going on? What is you doing?" Just a whole bunch of weirdness.
yeah, I'm just clueless. Or I'm too excited and nervous about everything.
As Avedon comes to the table, or not pretending to be someone else, yells, "The demoness returns!" What the fuck accent was that? I totally lost the Sean Connery. The demoness returns. Can't do it loud.
Demonish.
The demoness.
Hey, listen, Erdy, this is no demoness, man. She was there for me last night. Whew.
It's a compliment.
Guys, listen, I gotta talk to you. You never believe what I saw.
Perhaps this is not the venue for that.
Nobody can hear us right now. It's loud in here, Erdy. But fine, let's go. Where are we going? Take me to your secret lair.
It's pretty loud in there. People are shuffling in and out, but at the same time, you know, there are cultists in your midst, so it's your call.
All right, let's go somewhere more private.
I'm just eating.
There
Shoveling
is always
food into my face.
the stables, your room. That's pretty much it.
I think we would all look suspicious if we all left at the same time. Would we
Agreed.
not? How about
Kyle, what did you see down there?
not here?
Perhaps.
I don't want Ernie to yell at me again.
How about
Where are we going?
Go back to the stables. You two
No, the boys,
Finish.
the stable boys.
stable boys.
Oh no, the stable boys.
There hasn't been there, so he doesn't know about the
Her-
stable boys.
Perhaps.
There's some
Micaiah-
boys hanging around.
Perhaps, Micaiah, you can, tell someone away from large crowds, and then there's two people to tell someone else, and then we don't all have to receive the information at the exact same time.
I'm just gonna lean over and slap Zan on his quiver really loudly, making a point.
All right. I thought you were my boyfriend. No more? All right. Well,
This is free
Zan-
love. Free
Zan-
love, baby. Hey, well, you were having your
I feel
little
like
thing
your
out at Staples.
calmness will help me. So you come with me. I'll talk to you. Then you can disperse this information.
So, do we want to stealth away so that nobody notices?
Yes. Let's stealth away.
You're in the middle of breakfast. No one cares if you walk away.
We're
Or
gonna
they
stealth
might.
anyway,
We're
because
supposed to get
maybe
on
we just
duty.
want to roll dice, okay? Just leave us alone. We like to
Um,
roll dice.
Okay, go ahead and roll your stealth checks.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad I get to roll it. I get +6 now. That's great. 18.
22.
We're
You
stealthy,
feel-
Zane.
You kind of like, as you're walking out, like glance out of the corner of your eye, and you feel like nobody's watching you as you leave. You feel like nobody cares as you walk out the door.
All right,
It's the
Zane.
most
I don't think anybody
pivotal
cared we left.
All right.
The most pivotal of stealth rolls.
We probably didn't need to hold our breath as we left the room, but
Was that Krusty the Clown soundbite? Who cares?
exactly. So listen, this is what happened. So I changed into a little mouse. I went in there. You're never gonna believe what's in there. They're hiding lizard folk down there. Some kind of weird lizard creatures reached out
Where are
from
you
the
having this
from some
conversation?
kind of box. Yes, me and Zan.
Where are you guys?
We're stealthily away somewhere. He took me to some
We're-
secret hiding place.
We're back in the room.
Okay.
All right, we're in the
just
room.
confirming.
I followed him.
Okay.
Zan 2020, I'm letting him lead the way.
Bringing
Because I'm
girls
all
back
disheveled
there.
mess. Clearly. So he's keeping me nice and calm. So then I just tell him everything that I just said.
So just as a reminder, because it has been a little bit, you snuck underneath. You saw a bunch of crates and barrels and sacks and everything that had marking on it, like this, just kind of a smear of I don't remember what color I said it was, but we'll go with
I think red.
red.
I think it was
paint.
red.
There we go.
Red.
We'll go with red. And then as you were about to leave, so you had followed your nose and there was a trap door, but you couldn't quite, you knew it was there, but you were a mouse, so you couldn't get underneath it. And then as you were about to leave, it opened with a crate kind of like nailed on it, so it was not as obvious. It opened and out came a lizard folk from underneath this trap door, which it tried to eat you, but you were able to get away.
Yes, I tell him all of that. Exactly what you just said.
and
Just
I'll wait.
as beautifully as that.
And when I'm within 30 feet of everyone, I'll use my quiver to fill them in silently.
Okay. So you kind of like
Pew, pew, pew.
hang out maybe near the bottom of the stairs at the edge there. You guys like leave the room. Micaiah, are you staying in the room, or are you gonna go back to the mess hall?
No, I'm gonna go back with everybody, with Zane.
Okay.
To everybody.
So you can either go back in or wait outside to send your stuff.
I'll wait outside.
Okay. So you all get this message from Zan as Micaiah walks back in, saying that all of the things individually. You guys kind of like look at one another, and you can tell who's getting the message on some people, and other people you can't. But some people
Or not just turns to them and goes, "You smell like dung."
Yes, Abaddon and Micaiah smell like manure and stinky horses. It is very, you very much smell. Yeah, I think they're okay with it.
Yeah, I
Oh
mean,
yeah. I'm not gonna defend.
I
that.
embrace it. I do. I smell.
I love Pablo.
I mean, we all know Abaddon doesn't mind smelling like onions.
Mhm.
IRL, IRL, IRL.
IRL.
All right, so what are you guys doing with this information? You're all sitting. It's starting to get. You can see the guards and laborers who are heading on their way. They all start shuffling out of the mess hall as the morning is wearing on. And Ardrid starts to gather everything. He had kind of given you your little talk last night, about how you got to follow what Bog Luck is saying and what your shifts are going to be. So he's getting everything ready to go, and you start to see the laborers that there's like a smile on most of their faces as they know they're leaving and going back home. Anything that you're going to do for the rest of this day, or are you going to chat?
We're not like assigned anything to do yet.
Not at the moment, but it's coming.
Okay, then I guess I would go try to learn the lay of this place. He hasn't been to the stables yet, so he'd probably go check those out and do a walk around the inside and the outside to just kind of familiarize himself with the place.
Okay. If you're gonna go outside,
Arik would join him. Do the same.
so if you're going to try to go outside, you'll be stopped at the double doors that lead out of the courtyard, and assigned another guard who's been there for longer, and it's a human guy. There's a lot of humans in this area. Just like short, dark hair, and he's got leathers and a short sword. And he's like, I can bring you around, show you the lay of the roadhouse, since you will be assigned. And actually, he kind of like waves over for a couple of more people to come join, and says like, let's take a perimeter walk. And you guys, along with a couple of others who have joined your group here, take a walk around the perimeter, and it's a pretty well fortified for what it is, roadhouse. All around you see some trees. It's there's definitely snow on the ground. Just a light dusting at this point, but the road that leads in is very muddy and all like slushy and gross. But as you get around, there is, let me actually just pull up Dalton.
I'm kind of bummed that Gristle Pete isn't actually called Dalton now that we've said Roadhouse like 20 times.
I know, right?
So, kind of going around it, it is this like weird, not quite rectangular shape. On the first floor here, the stables, and I have Roll20 open, but I'm just kind of showing you. The stables where your horses are, there is only one floor there, and then it's covered by a roof. So the inside here, and yeah, so the inside is this main square, basically. There's only the one door that you can see, or the two doors here to get in and out. Although on the roof of this area on the second floor and down here, they do have patrols that are just kind of like walking back and forth or hanging out up there and looking out over. And the mirror is to this way, is to your west. So looking out that way, you can see the mirror, and looking the opposite way, you can see, I believe it is the, let me pull up this other map. I believe it's a mountain range. The Sword Mountains, you can see there.
Did we know what his name? The guy who took us for the walk
Dalton.
around? Oh, that is his name, Dalton. All right. Eric would turn and ask him, get many things attacking the roadhouse?
He looks at you and is like, well, just be on your guard. Not typically, but the ones that come out of the mirror are nasty. We've got worms and trolls and orcs and goblins. It's really a mixture of what we can get. So we're always on our guard.
Okay.
Can I roll a what the hell was it? Intelligence?
What are you trying to do?
It's like I have the racial trait for a dwarf is stone cunning. When you make an intelligence or history check related to the origin of stonework, you're considered proficient in the history skill and add double your proficiency bonus to the check. So I just kind of want to look at the stone. Like I'm assuming this is like the stone foundation of the first level. As we're walking, maybe look at it and touch it, and just kind of like maybe I can determine anything about it, like if they're like, you know, how it's built, and if it's built in such a way that there's like a lower hidden chamber below or something like that.
Yeah, go ahead and make your check with advantage.
All right. So should I roll history or intelligence? I guess it doesn't matter because they're both -1 because I'm dumb.
Are they both the same?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
We'll say history though. You're kind of like looking at the history of the building through its stone.
Well, that's a 2. Good thing I get to do it again because of fucking advantage. Yeah, all right, 14. That's better. 13. Goddamn, -1.
Let me just make sure our stream's still up. Okay. All right. So looking at it, and I think we have a bum, right? Do we have a bum we have to do? I feel like I missed a bum.
As far as I know, we did all the bums last week.
Let me just double check because I think that there was an extra one. I think William did 2.
Ooh,
I think you
I
just
vote
really.
for a
I think.
bump.
I
Yeah,
think you
you
just
did.
really want to explain to Dalton.
I
think Dalton's
just
asked.
want to make sure that I'm not.
I thought you
missing
did. I thought you already did 2 bums last time.
I know, but
Yeah,
I was
'cause
like,
I-
there was another bum that I was making up for, and then also Micaiah bought a bum. I'm just making sure.
You want to cover all the bums.
I want to cover all the bums, make sure all the bums are covered.
Well, I'm about 10 critties away from another bum, so that's about to happen. So don't worry, you're about to do a bum anyway, regardless.
Okay, so as you kind of like are walking along and feeling the stone, it's kind of a falling apart stone. Um, let me just make sure. Okay, yeah, we got rid of all the bumps. Okay, just making sure, everyone. Want to get those bumps. What you can tell is that this is definitely a human-made compound, and it used to serve as a hostelry on the trade route between Waterdeep and Neverwinter. Probably back about 100 years or so ago. It was less than that when the rift broke open within Neverwinter. It was about that amount of time. So that's when it fell into disuse, when the trade stopped. But now that the road is being rebuilt, you can see that there have been repairs made to the outside, and the inside, as you guys have been inside there. But it used to be a place where people would come and stay on their way from Neverwinter to Waterdeep. Given that information, you don't believe that there's like a basement to this building.
Okay. All right.
All right, so you guys travel around. Are you looking for anything else while you're out there? Are you looking out into the mirror? Are you?
Are there any battlements or anything like that on the roof? Any fortifications? Anything? It's just a roof, just a flat roof.
Yeah, no, it's just a flat roof. So there's the one roof on the stables area. There's no battlements there. There are guards there who with crossbows, longbows, but mostly crossbows, but and like seats and stuff to just be more comfortable. But you can get in or get up to the roof from the inside, like with ladders and whatnot. But there's nothing fortifying it.
And if we looked out to the mirror, would we roll for some? Would we roll, or
What are you looking for?
is there something to roll? Just observing, seeing if there's anyone coming in, going out. If we could see creatures of any kind, anything big, small. Just a general checking it out.
Yeah, you can make a perception check. We'll see how much you see.
That's a 12. I don't think I have anything to add to that.
Okay.
No, it's just a 12.
From this distance, you are probably a good, hold on, let me just double check again this map.
Got it.
Get rid of this thingy. I love this map because it gives me distances. You're probably about, like 3 or 4 miles away from like the edge of the mirror. So you can
How many miles?
How many
miles? I'm sorry, you cut up. Okay.
Yeah, so 3 or 4 miles. You can see things shifting and moving. What did I miss?
A bomb.
Though.
Oh no! I missed it. You sneaky.
I'm looking out at the mirror, so it's not me that's gonna get my face stuck in the ass this time.
This time.
It's
Looking out at the mirror.
It should be Erdnot because he's so small that he's just walking behind Dalton. He tries to look out at the mirror and it's just Dalton's ass in his face.
There you go. So
I'm looking at the stone.
Yeah, so Erdnot is looking at the stone, and so Arik looking out at the mirror. You can see things shifting and moving, but from this distance, you don't see anything approaching, and there's a lot going on, like in that bog at any given time. So nothing looks like it's imminently dangerous. Erdnot, as you're kind of tracing your hand along the stone and thinking about like the workmanship and everything, hi. You get lost in thought, and suddenly, being only 3 feet tall, you bump into the firm and leather-clad ass of Dalton. And as you do so, your face kind of like smacks into it, and you're like, you can't help but think like, wow, that is a tight butt. And you turn and look, and it's like right there. And then Dalton turns and looks back at you, and it's like, "Can I help you?"
You work out.
Erd not trying to get some of that cake.
He's like, "Thank you for noticing. Oh my god, I do." I started a new regiment, and I think it's really working for me. So I'm glad that you noticed. I'm gonna keep it up. Maybe I'll even add some additional squats.
Good man. Good man.
Anyway.
I love Erd not trying to be interested in someone's butt. Good man. Yeah. Good man.
Good job. And he walks away, and as he does so, he kind of looks back at you like, eh? He looks, and you do see like that those pants are just very tightly. They're very tightly.
How do you fight in those?
Yeah.
There's no stretch to those pants.
That leather is painted on.
Exactly. Okay, so you guys do your walk around, your walkabout, and then head back into the complex. You are then assigned various guard duties, and anybody want to volunteer for anything in particular? We've got like the outside during the day. Shit, I just closed everything on my screen. There's night watch of the. Okay, there's the night watch of the on the roof, the top roof. There's night watch on the stables.
Stables.
Micaiah's gonna go with the stables with Avedon.
Okay, there's day watch of those things. It's kind of like it's first come first served in terms of getting the day shifts. If you're looking for night shifts, they're a little bit easier to come by.
Or not, we'll try to get whatever shift Eckert gets, so in case someone tries to assassinate him, I can revive him.
I was actually going to ask if Chef Gristle Pete needs help in the kitchen at all.
It's just Chef. No Gristle.
I'm going to call him by his full name for respect.
He's going to hate you forever.
I put some respect on his name.
Listen, boyfriend, he said call him Chef. Just Chef.
Yes, sweetie.
No.
That's right.
I
That's what
hear
you
little
do. You
feet.
agree and you say
Which
yes,
one is it?
sweetie.
Oh my gosh, she is so sweaty.
Because he put that second blanket on himself.
Baby.
Okay.
What?
One
I'm
second.
sweating.
Talk amongst yourselves. You cannot.
Wait, which one
you
is it?
cannot help.
You gotta give us the
Oh, it's a
topic.
kid.
Give us the topic.
You cannot
I didn't know.
work for Gristle Pete. He will not accept you.
Oh. But
He
I
don't
wanted
like
to
you
make
as much as you think he does. It's because you say his whole name. He don't like that.
I was so confused when she just looked in the camera and she was like, "He is so sweaty." I was like,
No.
looking at myself. Like I didn't hear like the baby's voice right up until
Gristle
afterwards.
Pete
But
would be.
I thought
do
she was
picture
talking
him
about
very
Gristle
sweaty.
Pete for a second. That he was real
I thought
sweaty.
I thought she was
feel like
talking
he
like
is.
really. I felt
I
like she
mean,
was staring
he's
at
definitely sweaty, right? He's like one
Well,
of
I
those
mean,
sweaty cooks.
I could
That's
I
just
could
like
hear the
dripping
little
sweat.
I heard the little pitter patter coming up.
It ain't no little pitter patter. Piddle patter. I can't fucking talk tonight. Like, it's fucking straight on, like, T-Rex thumping. That kid does not
T-Rex.
know how to be silent. Unless he's, like, coming out of his room, then it's like, it's stealth freaking the fuck out of you. Like, he did last night. Like, I don't know if anybody watched her DM prep thing video last night, but, like, she,
No
like...
spoilers.
Oh, there's
Nah,
no...
I don't watch
I don't
that.
think, I don't think there was any
spoiled.
spoilers. But, like,
I'm not risking it.
she had me sit and we talked about
Mm-mm.
Saturday's game a little bit. But as I was like walking down the hallway to go over there, he's just like, just right out of his fucking room. It's like, it's freaks
Maniac.
me out every time. Every time.
I'll be right
Children are so scary sometimes. They
I'm gonna use this as a good bathroom break opportunity. I
Alright.
shall return.
yeah. We'll need a pee break screen. Like those flames, and then when they disappear, it just says pee break time.
After these messages, we'll be
Well, that way-
right back.
That way, me and Avedon can get rid of our buckets.
We are the fears.
Slosh.
Oh, it's awful.
Oh man.
I
So,
want.
Roy, how did
are
you
guys
like-
by
how did you like-
yourselves?
What?
Oh, I was just gonna say, are you guys by yourselves as you're walking with Dalton?
I think they
No,
came
he
back.
said there was like a small group of people kind
Yeah.
of getting
But
this
just you guys went, right? Just the two of you.
out of
I
our
mean,
Well, yeah.
as far as
Out of our
yeah.
group.
yeah.
Okay. And then you came back.
Yeah.
Yes, I
Right.
guess. Yeah, we're being assigned duties.
All right.
Oh, that was quick.
Yeah. So you guys all decided what you're doing. So what's the plan, Stans?
I want night watch on the stables.
I'll do a night watch on a roof.
Are you guys all doing night watch, or are you mixing it up?
I'll take whatever. Like I said, I'll take whatever Eckert takes. And this whole time, I've been loudly calling him boss, just to keep up appearances.
Okay.
Fair enough. I like the trade off. I was calling you boss before you. I like this. Let's see. What should we do? I don't know. We'll just take a normal. Everybody else is taking night watches.
Yeah, I think
Sounds
you
like
guys can still do the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I figured we're gonna take an out. Hold on. Say that again, Zen.
The outside.
We're still outside at this time.
No, you can
No.
take an outside watch if you want.
The outside guard duty.
Yeah, we'll take something like that. I don't know if we want to all stick together as all doing night watches, or if we want to split it up. Day watch and night watch. It's probably easier if we keep it all the same. That way we can all be at least awake at the same time. Right?
Yeah, you have no
Mm.
problem getting night watch if that's what all of you want to do. Like most people want to be on the day. So so we can say you
The
guys
bums
get all
agree us. We don't fear the night.
Yeah.
you get night duty. So that leaves kind of a lot of the day for, catching up on sleep. You're going to be up for most of the night, if not all of it. So we'll say just as your shift is about to start, you are all coming down from your rooms, and you hear a kind of like commotion down on that first floor there. And roll 20 isn't necessary, but for the map, it's like right in the square. Is this working? Nope. Oh, I don't have the right thing up this way. You know what? I'm gonna just get rid of this thingy so that people can see the map.
DM, what time does the night shift start, and how long does it last?
It would be like just about the time that the sun goes down, and it lasts. So like from like 10 to 6.
Okay.
There we go. All right, so there's a roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
Like right down on that first
Double deuce.
first floor, like right as you get down these north set of stairs. And you see a kind of like gathering crowd of people. Some of the guards who are off duty, and then a bunch of the laborers. And the sun is starting to go down, so it's like actually the sun would be down. It's dark, but dark in the sky, but it's still lit up in that courtyard area. And you can see just a crowd of people, like I said, and on the outskirts of the crowd, you see Bog Luck, who is standing with a couple of other people, kind of over more towards just 20 or so feet north of the stairs to the kitchen. And he's just kind of like leaning, and he keeps like leaning down to and smirking and whispering something to the there's like a half-elf woman who's standing next to him, and he's just whispering something, and they're viewing this like crowd that's around 2 individuals in the center. So what are you doing?
Am
Where are we?
Am I close enough to hear what he's saying?
You can try to get close enough. You guys are wherever you want. You're coming down from the stairs. Either you can see that it's tough to come down these. You guys are coming down from like your room up here, so it's tough to come down here because there's a group of people down on the first floor. But you can definitely come down this set of stairs.
I'm not big, so I'm staying up here and getting a good vantage point.
Let's see, could we just stay on the stairs?
Oh yeah,
Looking over?
You can do whatever you want.
I'm like stepping up on the railing and looking over like a little kid.
Zan's gonna go down the other stairs and try and get as close as he can to see and hear what's going on.
Okay.
Do we recognize the faces that are in the middle of the group?
Yes.
Crowd, rather?
Yes.
What does it sound like before we can see it? Is it just
Uh,
chatter? Is it,
so
is
there's
it yelling?
chatter- Yeah, so there's chatter all around. Thank you for the follow, Deadeye. 313. There's chatter all around. You can't really hear what's going on, but in the center of this like ring of people, it's not like a loud like cheering or anything. It's kind of just like like talking and murmuring. And Zan, you can roll a stealth check to get close enough to see.
Did we get raided?
Yes, we did. We got raided by the Mark
Oh,
Knight.
okay.
Hi, thank you so much.
Hey,
Hi, everyone.
everybody.
So happy to see you. One day we'll return it. Sometime. I don't know when. It's just because of our scheduling, but we will. There will be a special day where we return the raid.
That's 18 for stealth.
Okay. So you get close enough to hear as you're walking down that way. The rest of you who are kind of like looking over, you can see in the center of this ring is Philok and Issa. And there's a bunch of people standing all around. You do see Wexler and Yasha standing also down like around this little fountain well thing. And like I said, there's just like a crowd of people all right here, and like right about here is where Philok and Issa, they're kind of facing off, although it is a little bit of a unique face off because Issa is only 3 feet tall, and Philok is a good 5'10" or so, and you can see that they're talking to one another. Zan, as you get close to Bog Luck, you hear him kind of talking to the half-elf woman who's standing next to him, and he's like, "We'll just let this go for a little while. It's good to have some something to break up the monotony. And he's basically kind of just saying that, like, he's not going to step in to whatever's going on here. So as you guys get closer, is anybody like approaching? Or are you going to approach the little circle of people, or who's doing what?
I'm gonna kind of look towards the crowd and just kind of ask, indiscriminately to the people who are surrounding, what's happening.
And a couple of them like, I don't know, it looks like there's some kind of like fight brewing. And you can, as you get closer, you do hear, Philok, and she looks pissed, and you see her standing there. And she's like, no, it's just too coincidental. You show up to our caravan and James ends up dead on his guard watch. Then I hear you bragging about stabbing people in the back. I know it was you, you nasty little imp. And Issa is like, Phil, I have no idea what you're on about. I would have no reason to kill that man. And I don't really appreciate the name calling.
While I'm still up with Erdnot, I want to make sure to tell him what I observed when I cast Detect Thoughts.
Erdnot nods, and he's no dummy. He knows that she stabbed him.
He does not like Issa.
Are people like goading them on, or like people shouting anything like fight, or are people just kind of relatively quietly watching this?
So it's a mixture. Like you can see some guys and gals are like kind of like, hey, and like they seem like they're kind of excited that this is that these two people are looking pissed and maybe there'll be a fight. Wexler and Yasha are. Wexler, you see, actually kind of like looks up at you, Erdnot, just for a moment, and then looks back down to the incident that's going on. Yasha never breaks her eyes off of Philok. There are like a couple of yells from the crowd of like, fighter, kiss her, stuff like that.
I'm gonna cast minor illusion. And I just want to cast a voice, not an overly loud voice, just a voice that kind of mingles in with the other ones coming from the far opposite direction of where I am, but down there, that just says, kick her in the dick! And then just smile about it.
Did you just use a spell slot in order to say kick her in the dick?
No, I didn't. It's a cantrip.
Oh.
Alric is on that side, and he's gonna just try to not look like he's the one who fucking just said that.
None of you would know that I did that.
I know, but we would hear it, and since I'm on the opposite side than you are, it would sound like it was coming from me.
So as this is happening, so Issa's kind of standing there with her hands out, and she's like, Phil, I don't know what you're talking about. And so Philok is just looking more and more angry, and like, as you can see, the leader here, Bogluck, the half-orc who's in charge, he's standing there, he's just interested in seeing how this plays out for a while. Everybody make me a perception check real quick.
Holy crap, I got a 19.
15.
I got a nat 20.
Whoa!
Wow.
Plus 5. 25.
I got a 5.
17.
All right. Abaddon, you are like very focused on what's going on down there. Did anybody else get lower than a 14?
I got a 12.
Okay. Erdnot, the same. You were kind of focused on making sure that voice like happened way across there when it happened. Like...
And it came right from freaking behind me. Sure.
The rest of you, independently, are all going to notice that the The human man who had joined your caravan back when Issa did, Aspara Joss, the one with the weird hat that was covering his neck and head and ears and all that. He is nowhere to be seen. Like, you had kind of noticed him now and again over the past day. He'd definitely come with you to this roadhouse. He was there this morning. I mean, not anything really to take note of, except that now as you're looking at like everybody who's there, you don't see him at all. So anyway, so as Philok, she like at this point, there's a like kick her in the dick or whatever from the side, and you see her. She just looks so mad, and she says like, "You think your clever little mouth is gonna get you out of this, but it won't." And she takes her sword and she draws it out from the sheath. And Issa at that point kind of like takes a step back, and she readies herself, although she looks like she's unarmed. And you see her look at her, and she goes, "That's what she said." And then Philok rushes at Issa with her sword drawn, and she takes a swing at her with the sword. And she actually like swipes, and it cuts across Issa's stomach area, and you see like a cut, and she takes a step and she grabs her stomach, and she's like, "Oh." And people are like, "Oh shit." And now people are starting to get like more invested in what's about to happen. You see a couple people looking back at Bog Luck, and he's just kind of like, and in that moment, Issa, she kind of like does this flip very quickly, and let me just make sure she actually does it first. She does this like flip over, and with a 19, she is suddenly flips over and is on the other side of Philok, and you see her. She does just a very quick stab with a hand that you thought was empty, but suddenly has a dagger in it, and I don't know why that's not rolling, or she tries to anyway. And
we can. I was gonna say we can see your rolls on Roll20, just so you know.
Oh, it keeps clicking, doesn't it? Okay. Oh, so I mean, I'm not gonna go with that one because I'm doing D&D Beyond. So she missed with her attack on the roll that I did on D&D Beyond. So she goes to stab, but Philok dodges out of the way, and she goes to swipe. I guess I'll go ahead and use Roll20 since you guys can see my rolls anyway.
DM, can I cast something while this is going on?
Yes, you can.
Can I cast thaumaturgy? Is it thaumaturgy?
Thaumaturgy.
Thaumaturgy. Okay, I'd like to cast
It basically makes a bunch of toms all around to distract everybody. There's toms everywhere. Thaumaturgy. There's just toms everywhere.
Tom and Jerry, Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
I was just trying to.
So that's what I'd
10
like
second
to do.
tom.
What was that?
So I would like to do that and cause the flames to any of the lights nearby to dim.
Okay. Are you trying to make it so people can't see, or are you just trying to like get people's attention?
I'm trying to make it so people can't see.
Okay. So the lights like start to dim all around. You see some of the people who aren't as heavily invested in what's going on are like looking around. They're like, "Oh," like it's already, the mirror is not a very pleasant place to be. So being on the outskirts, and you see Bog Luck kind of looks at the lights as well, and he's taking a look around. And Issa, as she tried to stab Philok, swings again as she dodges out of the way, and she gets her good. You see her slash across again, and there's like a huge like gash across the front of Issa's like chest at this point, and she stumbles back.
While people are kind of distracted by the light, can I take a look and see if what's his fuck is looking at me again? And if he's not, there's something I would like to cast.
He is not looking at you right now. He is looking at Philok as she's fighting.
All right. Then I will cast Armor of Agatheus on Issa. It's a protective magical force that will surround her with a special frost that covers her and her gear. She gains +5 temporary hit points, and if a creature hits her with a melee attack, while you have these hit points, the creature takes +5 cold damage. So,
Okay.
fuck. Wait, I need a cup of water to do that. Is there a cup of water nearby?
Go to the bubbler.
So there is
Bubbler.
down on that first floor. You can reach there's that well that you can see. Can you see it? That like circle? Oh, you can't.
Yeah, but I was on the second floor.
Yeah. So you don't have a cup of water on you at the moment. The closest that you could maybe get is if you get down there. Or how about this?
Spit in your hands a whole lot.
Howard.
No.
Hey, it's better than the alternative. All right.
So where will you find a cup of water, and we'll see if you can find one. In time.
Well, we're kind of right outside my room, right?
Yep.
So I will just go in there and grab like a canteen.
I was gonna say you
Oh,
don't
there
have
you go.
water skin.
Well, I mean, I wasn't walking around with it. So I just go in the room and kind of just grab it.
All right. So we'll
and
say
use that.
after this next attack by Issa, you can have cast that because it takes you some time to like run back in there and get that. So with this attack that kind of caught her off guard, she is going to lunge at what's her face with her 2 weapons and try to attack twice. And just trying to get a general sense of whether or not, yeah. She does hit 1 time, so she comes through and she stabs Philok like right in the upper thigh. And you see Philok kind of stagger back a little bit, and she like yells out. But Issa also like kind of takes a step back from her, and so at that point, you cast that spell.
Okay.
Which spell was it again? Just so that I have it up on my thing.
Armor of Agatheus.
Agathis.
Agatheus.
I was getting Greek with it.
Taumaturgy.
I think you can only cast it on yourself.
Is it?
Yeah, you can only cast it on yourself.
Oh,
You would know.
okay.
that, So.
Then I would cast Shield of Faith.
Okay.
And I don't need water for that one.
All right.
Parchment with
is
holy
Shield
text.
of
So
Faith- is Shield of
it gives
Faith
her a
obvious?
+2 AC. Oh yeah, Shimmering Field
Okay.
appears and surrounds the creature.
And you just need your small parchment. So, if you're trying to do this stealthy, I'm just going to need a stealth check because suddenly, as Issa steps back, and she doesn't look like really, really hurt, but she's definitely, she's caught off guard by Philok's ability to hit her. And then suddenly you guys watch this shimmering thing, and for a second she looks, and Philok also gets she
That was a
hesitates.
good stealth roll.
What is it?
It was the 20.
Oh, 20. Nice.
Not nat 20, but a 20.
Yeah. Yeah, so this shimmering like shield appears around her for a moment, um, and it's kind of like just barely there after a second. It's not quite as bright as when it first appears, and she steps back, and then you see her kind of smile at Phil, and she's like, "Looks like I've got friends in high places. Are you sure you want to keep this up?" And Philok is like, ah, and she comes forward and she, what does it do? +2? Okay.
+2 to the AC.
Yeah, so she comes forward and she slashes at her again. I'm not going to do this whole fight, but just, yeah, she still hits her. So as, like, just this anger just, like, surges through, and she just kind of, like, stabs through, and is able to cut again another 7 points of slashing damage on Issa. I don't know if I can do math. Yep.
Or Nod's like, I tried.
Are you guys doing anything else while this is going on, or just kind of watching?
I'm gonna look around at the crowd. Besides Bod Luck, is anyone else just kind of seem as though they should be doing something, but they're not?
What do you mean?
Like, is the room look like it's being watched? Like, is this like everybody in the Roadhouse coming watching this? Like, is this like a like everyone in the entire place coming now?
Yeah, like where's Dalton in that ass?
So everybody who is not on shift is kind of like, for the most part, I mean, you don't see the stable kids, but for the most part, the majority of people are all there kind of watching. There are definitely guards out there, and you can see like a couple of them who are closer are kind of like trying to see what's going on, but like 80% of the people, there are some people who are just like, and they're going into the kitchen and whatnot, but most people are there.
How excitable is the crowd? As far as, does this look like it would turn into a mob if something else popped off? Are they like getting really rowdy, like almost like imagine them, not quite like a mosh pit,
no,
but like,
it's not quite a mosh pit. It's more of like, and it's not like a crowd at like a UFC fight or anything. They're like interested. They're like, oh, and like if somebody gets too close, they might push her back in, but they're not like, they're not at that level of like yelling in people's faces or anything like that. It's getting louder, but they're not like out of control.
I just wanted to like, obviously if that's not going to work in this case, because I was hoping like I could just like push somebody in and then punch somebody else and just cause pandemonium, and then like it would just, you
can try.
If I thought it was at that point, you know what I'm saying, a UFC crowd isn't a bad like way to describe that either. That was actually pretty on point. But yeah, no, I guess I will. Sad. I just wanted to turn to my left and just waylay somebody in the fucking face. Okay. But if it's not gonna be of any use, then I won't.
Okay. All right, and so actually she wouldn't be at that. So she, like, there is some attacks back and forth. So you see Issa, I'm just gonna roll this one and roll that one. Fill off. Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's even worse. So you watch Issa, she does like some more parrying here and there, and she's able to kind of like quickly, suddenly she has 2 daggers in her hands, and she just does like a quick stab into the side of Philok, and Philok like drops down to 1 knee, and then you do see, then Philok is able to like kind of very quickly swipe with her her sword, and she knocks Issa down onto the ground, and she like cuts her leg very badly. And Issa like yells out and is down on the ground.
So they're both down on the ground at this point?
Philok is like on one knee, where Issa is down like on the ground. Hold on.
Does it look like Issa's going unconscious?
It looks like Issa's in a bad position, and like in that moment you see Philok, she like kind of stands up very quickly and she takes her sword and she just like plunges it down into Issa's stomach as she's lying on the ground, and it almost kind of like pins her down into the ground, like the muddy earth there, and people are like, oh, and there's like a loud yell as Issa rolled a natural 1 and Philok rolled a natural 20.
What?
And you hear Issa yell out, and she's like, ah! As she gets kind of like stuck there. And there's still no movement from Bogluck or anybody else who looks like they might be in charge.
Zan's gonna try and separate them and cast Cure Wounds on Issa.
Okay. Make a strength check.
Ooh, that's not good.
You're trying to like push Philok off of
That's a nat 20.
Oh, nice.
What?
Hold on, let me see.
It's that adrenaline, Zan.
Oh, that's a 13. So as Philok is like going to she pulls out the sword, and Issa's eyes are like kind of, she's like fluttering, and then her eyes kind of close, and she's going to go stab again, and you come over and push her out of the way. And as you do that, you do see like Wexler and Yasha start to approach. They kind of like push their way through the crowd, and Philok is down on her back, and her sword is next to her. She pulls up the sword, and then she comes forward again, and she's like, "Get out of the way!" And she is going to try to push you.
I'm gonna back Zan up on that. I'm gonna come down those stairs.
Starts coming down once he sees Wexler moving closer.
Okay, so Wexler is moving in. Make a strength check again, Xana. She's gonna try to push you out of the way. Wexler is like pretty much there. He was much closer than Erdnot, although probably contesting with Arik on getting there.
Not as good, but a 16.
Okay. So she tries to like push you out of the way, but she is a little bit weakened from this fight that she's had, and you're able to like kind of shove her. And if you want to cast Cure Wounds, Issa's eyes are closed, like she doesn't, and she's bleeding heavily from the stomach as she got.
That's 3 points of healing.
Okay. So as you reach down, you can see the wound very quickly closes up around, and the bleeding stops, but her eyes are still kind of closed as she's sitting up. She's breathing. Wexler and Yasha come forward, and Arik, as you're stepping forward, and they're like, "This is between them," Wexler says.
I wouldn't say anything. I would just stand there with my hand on my sword, staring at them.
And Zan's just going to say, "And what is it between them? All I see is 2 people trying to kill each other when we're here to do a job."
Wexler looks at you, Zan, and he's like, "We know quite well that this one is the one who killed our comrade."
And you saw her do it?
He's like, "We didn't need to see."
You
We
didn't
know.
need to see. You know. Then who shot my friend over here?
What was it? Oh, I was trying to remember what you're referring to.
Erdnot goes, "You one got shot again?"
It was the same night.
And
He wasn't there. Remember, this is old Geth talking.
Oh,
He wasn't
that's
with you.
Philak steps-
He's only heard one story of him getting shot.
Wexler is like, "I don't need to answer to you." And Philok steps forward And she's like, I know she did it. I heard her bragging about stabbing people in the back. And it's too much of a coincidence. She shows up and he ends up dead. And she's looking over at Issa, whose eyes are like kind of opening a little bit as she's laying there.
And what would she to gain from killing him?
And Philok is like, she looks like the sneaky type. He probably caught her trying to get into the crates.
And this all has nothing to do with what happened. This is your speculation. We know that you, and I am blanking on his name right now. James were extremely close. All of us in the caravan knew. But that doesn't give you the right to just murder anyone in order for you to get some sort of vengeance for his death.
I know it was her.
What proof do you have?
I don't need proof. I know. And Wexler and, well, Yasha isn't saying anything, but Wexler is like, what do you care about this halfling? Do you even know her?
All I know is people who are supposed to guard together should not be trying to kill each other. I will not be able to sleep knowing that anyone who may think I or someone else has done something wrong is going to drive a sword into my stomach.
And you hear like a cough from behind you as Issa kind of like sits up and she's like, Zan 2020, listen to him. I didn't kill your friend. I'd have nothing to gain. And Philok is like, shut up. I know you did it. They can't protect you forever. And she looks at you, Zan, and she just looks like she wants to slice you in half, but she can't. And at that moment, you see Bogluck, the big kind of burly half-orc, comes up and he's like, all right, break it up over here. That's enough entertainment for one night, I'd say, right? And other people are like,
Or not one more time, Cass. Kick her in the dick!
Everybody kind of like looks around looking for who that might have come from. Like, no dick kicking. Let's get back to our guard duties here, and we'll just let bygones be bygones, right? And Wexler kind of shoots him a dirty look, and then looks over at you, Zan, and is like, she's right. You can't protect her forever. And then he'll turn and walk away, and Yasha follows. Philok already, she takes off ahead of them, just very pissed off. And as she walks away, Zan, Philok turns and walks away, and even with that anger, you notice there must be a reason why she was able to shift so quickly out of the way of Issa's strikes with the dagger. And thankfully, although, you don't agree with her and you don't agree with her senseless attempt at killing, it would have been a shame to lose a butt so perfectly sculpted. There's so many well-trained and just very physically fit people in this camp. You just can't help but notice.
Well, we just spent 60 days walking, so.
Right. And it paid off for Philok as she storms away, and you're like, in another life.
Nice ass.
I might have gotten to know that butt better. But back to
I'm gonna pick up Issa. I'm gonna pick her up and just sling her over my shoulder.
She's like, my hero.
Thanks, Zan, not me.
Bernat would like to nonchalantly. I would pretend to help Ecker pick her up, but I'm really laying hands on her to give her like 5 more points of healing. I need her for my makeup.
Always the pragmatist.
Yeah,
Birdie has a secret crush.
So-
she came close.
So I'm gonna pick her up, and I'm gonna look over at Bog Luck, and I'm just gonna ask, we finished here?
Yes, by all means, start your guard duties, please. I'm only paying
Is there
you. And he kind of
Is there an
walks away.
infirmary?
No, there's no infirmary here.
Alright. So I'll take her up to our room.
So she's looking pretty rough. As you guys put her in your room, she's like, I don't do so great up close, you know. I can't
Or
get
not
away.
sitting there with his arms crossed, looking down. Goes, I expected better. Oh wait, I can talk regular. I forgot my regular accent.
Russian, Scottish.
I expected better.
There you go.
All right.
But he smiles.
Like, I got some pretty good ones in. She got lucky.
So since we,
Go ahead.
why did you kill the boy?
Trogdor, I don't know what you're talking about. And she just kind of like closes her eyes. It is like her eyes are closed, but every once in a while she's like looking like.
I'm if she goes to sleep, I'm gonna give her one of those. It's like, hey, wake up.
She's not sleeping. She's like, ah.
Well, we could leave. We could either help protect you, or we could leave, go on our duties, and leave this door open. And I don't trust your chances in surviving the next encounter. Want to try again? Why'd you kill the boy?
Are we all in the room?
I don't know.
I'd assume.
Like
Yeah.
I'm there, but I don't know if everybody else came in or went to their own duties.
Zan would probably just head towards his. Since it's night, he'll head towards his duties.
Okay. She make a persuasion check. Or intimidation, I guess, if you're trying to intimidate her into doing it. But I'd say that's more like persuasion.
Yeah, and I'd probably. That's a 16. I had to do the math on that one.
She looks at you and she's like, well, he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. It was nothing personal. I mean, it was a little bit personal, but nothing against him personally.
Against the cult or against the shit.
No, he's not part of the cult.
Kafka. No, Kafka's Shadow, right?
Yeah,
That's the name of the- that's the-
Kafka's Shadow.
Kafka.
Yeah.
So
Like, no.
against the mercs.
No, like I said, just wrong place, wrong time.
Oh.
I was looking for something personal, and he got in the way.
What is it that you're looking for?
Well,
Something personal, right?
something personal.
We'll help you. God
well-
damn it, wrong accent again.
We will help you. Let's gonna try them all.
I'm trying. It's hard to
We will
switch.
help you. Huzzah.
We will help you with your finding your personal item if you wish, or just keeping that fillock off your back if you help me with a personal issue.
All right, what is it that you need, Dirty Erty?
He looks confused at that.
I see the way you look at me.
See?
He looks very confused at that.
Abaddon's got a huge smile on her face.
Ark
Before
suddenly
we're
feels really uncomfortable.
before
Just
we're
deal
done
with
here,
this.
and we leave this place for good, on whatever mission we're doing here, I want that Wexler. Will you help me?
You want him how? What does that mean?
He just kind of he puts his hand on his battle axe that's like hanging from his hip, and he goes, I need information out of him.
What kind of information?
Personal information.
Like,
And he smiles.
Touche.
You have skills that I think could be beneficial.
I'll do what I can. Thanks for your help.
He
Like I
nods.
said, when I can move, when I have space, I'm okay, but not so much in confined quarters. I'm gonna rest. Why did this get so loud? Music. So are you guys, we'll finish up with whatever it is that you guys are going to be doing this night.
No, just slap Eckert on the chest and say, we've got guard duties.
True.
Time to remember how I'm supposed to speak outside of this room.
Zan is going to report for his
God
guard
duty.
duties, but he's also going to keep an extra eye out for Yasha, Wexler, or Philip.
Okay. So you do know that they did duties during the day, and they were kind of doing their swap off. So they go to their room up there where the K is, and they stay in there. You don't see them leave after they go in.
Who's gonna help do guard duty on our laid low friend here? Nobody.
Well, we can't stay and watch her. I mean, we have our own duties, right?
Yeah, we got shit to do.
Duties.
True, but if we don't keep an eye on her, she's gonna end up cut up in itty bitty little pieces.
Nah, she'll
Well,
be fine.
what if we bring her down to the stables and she can rest there while I'm there? And who's coming? Wasn't somebody coming with me?
I could
Yeah,
cast
I
minor illusion and make her look like bed sheets.
Is it a concentration spell?
No, I think it only lasts an hour though.
So your stables watch is actually on the roof of the stables, not inside of it.
Oh, never mind. It only lasts 1
okay.
minute.
I can always carry her up there. Is there a bag big enough for me to put her in that I could just carry her on my back?
Shove her in the bag of holding.
Lisa's like, I am not going into any bag on your back.
Quiet, you're asleep.
Could I see her from like the roof or no? Like that's not really a thing.
No, you can't.
You want to be left alone, Issa? You think that you'll be all set?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Oh,
Okay.
wait a second. Can I lean into Issa and cast mage armor on her?
Yeah, I think so.
I think. Yeah, sorry, I just thought of that and I didn't want to continue until I said something.
Yeah.
Because she's not wearing any armor, right?
No, she is. She's wearing.
Oh, she
leather
is.
Armor. Yeah, she wears leather. Hide.
I don't think I can give it to her then.
Oh, okay.
Never mind. Farts.
So
I just tap her on the shoulder before we head out, and I'll just say, "Try not to die." Just trying to
same
walk
to you.
out.
You guys gonna try to get into that storeroom, warehouse? I mean.
I wouldn't even say anything. I just keep walking. Pretend like I didn't even hear it.
You son of a bitch. All right. So so you guys are just gonna do your guard duty for the night? You looking out for
Yeah.
anything in particular, or just so I can make a note?
Where are we? We're doing me and him doing outside guard duty. Is that what we?
On the roof, right?
I don't remember which. I know. I just remember it was like nighttime duty. I didn't remember which position it was.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll do nighttime roof duty.
Okay. So Erdnot
Roof
and
duty.
all right. So Erdnot and Arik are on the roof. Abaddon is on the roof of the stables. What is
I want to be
Abaddon?
looking out. Just
I'm with Abaddon because she
Okay.
can't see for shit.
Okay.
yes, I can.
She's got night vision too.
I
Dark
have.
vision.
No, you suck.
Oh yeah,
So you can
you
see.
just have very bad perception.
You have bad perception.
Oh.
Yeah, you can see, but you can't perceive what you're seeing.
Zan and
Girl, that was
Vidania.
a net 20.
Oh,
I thought that I think me and Vidani said we were gonna do the roof.
Oh, that's what you guys were gonna do?
Yeah, I think it was you and Erdnot who hadn't decided. I think you guys were left with scraps.
That's fine. We'll
all right.
we'll
So,
walk around the outside, I guess.
Yeah, we're scrappy fellas.
hey, thank you for the subscription, the sub. Thank you. Okay, so the roof. So during the nighttime, you would most likely get the inside. Being outside at night is like super dangerous. So you would get the courtyard.
Okay.
That's what you guys were doing.
Sure.
Okay, so the courtyard.
We're gonna be taking extra. I'll be taking extra attention. See if there's like any lights or noises or anybody doing anything under Stinky Pete's kitchen there, or whatever the fuck his name is.
Alright. So
I don't-
we'll just say like throughout the night you kind of like lean a little bit against maybe that warehouse door. You can make a perception check. That'll be the last check of the night.
After that, yawn.
Fucking 8.
Okay.
Stink, Pete.
So you lean up against throughout the night. You lean up against that the doorway to the warehouse, just kind of like inconspicuously leaning to see if you can hear anything. And it's very quiet as far as you can tell in the warehouse room behind you. You don't see any lights go on underneath or anything like that.
Oh.
Now it's Stinky Pete forever. You guys are getting closer and closer to inspiration.
20% of the way there.
So yeah, you guys do your watch. Nothing happens that evening, and you do not notice anything. And we will pick up on the third day.
Okay. Were you,
Very nice.
Bravo.
Brava.
how did it feel playing your character like in our game, playing Issa like in a combat situation?
Well, I just kind of like rolled ups and downs, so I haven't actually used her to fight yet.
Oh, okay.
I
Alright.
didn't use any of my
Let's-
things. I just kind of did a quick like NPC fight because I didn't want to be like fighting myself for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I love Issa. She'll never die. If she dies, she'll come back.
She's like herpes.
Nice. Issa, the gift that keeps giving.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Bums. I'm
yes.
gonna bum off.
Good night, everyone.
Whoa.
All right.
Good night. We have to
Night.
wake up early. All
We
of
gotta
us.
raid somebody. We got
Oh,
20
yeah, we
people.
Yeah.
gotta raid. So I'm gonna switch over to the raid screen, and we'll keep talking. But let me go find somebody to raid, and you guys can mess with the the emotes. God damn it. And they show up on the little wall, which is kind of fun. We're very, very close to our next emote, which is actually going to be a raid emote. So let's see who we're going to raid. We've got 20 people. I'm going to grab you all before you get distracted and leave us. So who are we going to do? We are going to do... There's DMF Saint, The Last Oath, or D20TV. Let me see if he's still up. And like how many. So let's see. Show me. How many people? Oh yeah. Alright, so we're gonna raid DMF Saint. They are playing Dungeons and Dragons right now. And yeah, let's do that. So we'll spam our emotes. Oh my gosh, okay, here we go. DMF Saint. Thank you so much. We'll be back on Saturday. And we're gonna be working to get some more giveaway stuff going. And thanks for joining us. As always, we appreciate you. We got 16 viewers. We're gonna run with 16. Woo.